All right, guys, let's go over this homework for tonight. We went over 1 and 2 in class. We're looking at unit rates based on a ratio that is given within a word problem. So we are starting off with Zamari, who spends 4 hours on a train that traveled 160 miles. How long would it take the train to travel 120 miles at the same rate? We are looking for what we already know, which is that first ratio. We know that in 4 hours, 160 miles are traveled. We need to know how many are traveled in 120, so that's our missing information. And we need to find our unit rate. That is our special ratio that is going to allow us to manipulate the other numbers so that we can find our missing information. So we know that in 4 hours we go 160. In order to move from 4 hours to 1, we are dividing by 4. Whatever I do to one part of the ratio, I'm going to do the same thing to the other. So I have 160 divided by 4, which equals 40. So I know in 1 hour that train is traveling 40 miles per hour. I have 120 miles and I need to know how many hours that is. To go from 40 to 120, remember we can always multiply using the first 2 digits and then make it a multiple of 10. So we have 40, 80, 120. That's times 3. Whatever I do down there, I have to do up top. So I am multiplying 1 times 3, which gives me 3. So it will take 3 hours to travel 120 miles. Question number 4. Shyla earned $56 for babysitting 7 hours. How much would she earn for babysitting 3 hours at the same rate? Here is our initial ratio, $56 for 7. So here's my earned, that's $56. The hours she worked was 7. I need to find my special ratio of my unit rate for 1 hour. To go from 7 to 1, I am dividing by 7. Whatever I do to one side of my ratio, I am doing to the other. So 56 divided by 7 gives me 8. Sorry, it's a little small there, but that's $8. So for every hour worked, she's going to earn $8. Now the information they want us to know is how many in 3. And that's the dollar amount that I'm missing. To go from 1 to 3, what are we going to do? We are multiplying by 3. If I multiply by 3, doing the same thing to my $8, to my unit rate. $8 times 3, let me not write 8, apologize. 8 times 3 gives you a total of $24. So she would make $24 in 3 hours. Question number 5. We have Chad, who spent $5.40 on 3 notebooks. What would the cost be for 5 notebooks at the same rate? You can see for this one, I'm setting it up a little bit differently. I'm going to do it as a proportion. Try and show you a few different strategies, and then you can choose the one that works best for you. Beagsley apparently appreciates proportion. That was him barking in the background. All right, so let's go with the ratio that we know. $5.40 for 3 notebooks. And I want us to make sure that we are labeling these. So this is the cost. This is the notebooks. Now I need to find my very special unit rate. So I am finding for 1, to go from 3 to 1, what am I doing? I am dividing by 3. If I'm dividing by 3 here, I have to divide by 3 up top. $5.40 divided by 3 gives you $1.80. So now I know that 1 notebook costs $1.80. I need to find my cost for 5 notebooks. 1 to 5 is what operation? Multiply by 5. Well, if I multiply by 5 here, I need to do the same. And $1.80 times 5 will give you $9. So 5 notebooks would cost $9. 5 notebooks costs All right, let's go to the second set of questions. Question number 6, 7, and 8. Angle that so that we're straight again. All right. Question number 6. Asia takes a flight that lasts 2 hours and travels 1,100 miles. How many miles would a flight at the same constant speed travel in 3 hours? Here's what we know. Here's what we want to find out. We're going to find my unit rate. Here's what we know, and here's what we're going to find out. So I have my hours, I have my miles written. I know that in 2 hours, the distance traveled is 1,100 miles. I need to solve for 1. To go from 2 to 1, I am dividing by 2. I'm also going to divide by 2 here. 1,100 divided by 2 gives me 550 miles. What I'm missing is my 3 hours. So here from 1 to 3, that would be a multiplication of 3. 550 times 3 gives you 1,000. Uh-oh, I did not make my box big enough to write this answer. 1,650, and then I'll box it in. So 1,650 miles is the distance traveled in 3 hours. All right, number 7, we have Patrick buys 3 packages of pencils for $5.22. That's my ratio. What would be the cost of 7 packages at that same rate? As you can see, I set up for a proportion on this one. I have $5.22 for 3 packages. I need to find the cost for 1 package. Here's my packages. This is my cost. 3 to 1, I am dividing by 3. So I'm going to divide $5.22 by 3, which gives me $1.74. Now I need to set up my ratio the other way because I need to find for 7 packages. 1 to 7 is going to be a total of multiplying by 7. So now I'm going to multiply, oops, I forgot my 7 there. I'm going to multiply $1.74 times 7, and that is going to give me $12.18. So $12.18 for 7 packages. Last question. Whoops, I lost my last word on that one. All right, our last one, I have set it up as a proportion again because I do like setting these up as proportions. I feel like they kind of work really well that way. All right, we have Michael buys 3 books at the book fair for $12. That's my ratio. If all books cost the same, what would the cost for 8 books be? Let's set up our problem. We know that 3 books cost $12. These are books. This is cost. I need to find my unit rate. And my unit rate is always going to be out of 1, Ms. Draster. It's 1. That's right. To get from 3 to 1, I am dividing by 3. So I am dividing 12 by 3. That's going to give me a cost of $4 per book. So if each book costs $4 and I need to find the cost of 8 books, ooh, sorry. See, this is why I should label things. And I labeled the money by putting that there, but I'm gonna write cost and I'm gonna write books because without it, it's so easy to make the mistake. So it's a good lesson that I learned by not following my own directions. So I'm finding for 8 books, so my 8's going up top. 1 times 8. So on the bottom, I am going to multiply 4 times 8, which gets me to a total cost of $32. So $32 for 8 books. All right, that covers it. Hopefully that was helpful to you. If you are still having trouble with some of them, circle the ones that gave you a problem. We will go over more unit rate tomorrow. Have a good night.